Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a full review, and it's actually a first impressions review of a new foundation that I recently got my hands on. This one is an affordable foundation from the drugstore, which I'm really excited about. It is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. Can you tell I'm excited? I feel like I'm always excited when it comes to drugstore reviews, specifically foundations. So anyways, without getting too much into it right now, let's just jump into the review. All right, guys, let's just jump in. I'm just gonna pin this hair back. As my intro explained, we are doing a full review, first impressions, wear test on the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I've heard a lot of good things about this guy. It's a really affordable foundation, available at the drugstore, of course. I'm just gonna go ahead and prep my skin just with some moisturizer and then some, just like a basic primer. I'm having extremely bad breakouts right now, which honestly, like from my viewfinder, I feel like you can't really tell, but my chin, which is, if you guys didn't know this, your chin area is very much so hormonal acne. Sucks being a woman, but this area right here is really struggling. I honestly have a blind pimple, which is one of, in my opinion, those in cystic acne are the absolute worst types of pimples to get because they hurt so bad. You really can't do anything to it except for let it do its thing. I'm gonna shake her up. This is what the packaging looks like, guys. It is a really, really nice packaging for a super affordable foundation. I think I got mine for $11.99. Glass tube, pump, very nice, sleek. Honestly, the packaging gets a 10 on 10. I got the shade Linen, which is medium with golden undertones. I feel like that would be the appropriate description of my shade right now, but we'll see. This, okay, so even after shaking it, squeezing it out onto the back of my hand, you guys can see there's quite a bit of oil in there. Much better. Okay, so this is what the shade Linen looks like on the back of my hand. As you guys know, my hand's tan at a scary rapid pace. I'm just gonna go ahead and dot this on this side. Like, I just can't tell if this is gonna be a good shade match or not, but we'll talk about the shade once I blend it out. Okay, so that's about half of that pump. As you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and use a damp beauty blender to start pushing it into the skin. This is a satin finish foundation, so it claims so. I think a beauty blender is a perfect tool to use. Blends out pretty nice. So far, I'm not mad at the color. It's blending nicely into the skin. And I would say it's giving like a medium coverage. Definitely not full, but more than a light. This is about half a pump on one side of the face, and I would say it gives about a medium coverage. As you can see on this side, I just have some discoloration under the eye, around the nose, and then of course some blemishes on my chin, but otherwise this is really just freckles, which I don't mind poking through my foundation whatsoever. I like that. So on this side, you can see that it really covered up all the discoloration around the nose, helped conceal under the eye, not completely, which is fine because I don't bring too much up there anyways, because I personally really like concealer. And overall, Linen was a good shade match. I was a bit nervous at first, but it's looking like not bad. So I have the other half of the pump on still on the back of my hand, and it's not dried completely, which is nice, meaning you don't have to rush through it. You can take your time. I'm just gonna do a little bit more up here and in here, and then I'm gonna go in with a second layer on the chin just because my chin is riding the struggle bus right now. So I'm gonna go in, just try and cover up my beauty marks, my little friends. Okay, so I used the full pump and a little bit extra, so I would say like a pump and maybe pump and a half all over the face. I put a second layer on my chin, and then a little, whatever was left over, just a little bit more coverage on the cheek areas, and overall I really like it. I would say it is a medium coverage, but definitely buildable. This foundation is super lightweight. It feels like almost nothing's on my skin, which is such a great feeling, especially in the summer months when it's so darn hot out. All my discoloration around my nose and on my cheeks and under my eyes are basically all blended away, which is really nice. And talking about the shade match, I was a bit nervous. You guys know I'm really struggling with shade matching myself this summer because I've got quite tan, which is lovely. I always like to compare my foundation shades to the Maybelline Fit Me line because I feel like so many people have used that line, and a lot of you guys in the comments will ask me to compare it to those. So I've just gotten in the routine of comparing it to that foundation line. But if you are ever wondering, just leave me a comment below and I'll try my best, if I have that foundation, to let you know what shade I was in that one as well. So right now in the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation for my summer shade, I've been using 230, which is a smidgen light, but it overall looks really, really good. In the winter, fall months, I'm more of a 220. And the Flawless Finish foundation, I am using the shade Linen, which again is a medium with golden undertones, which I think really does describe myself. So overall, shade match was definitely good. Coverage-wise, medium. Finish-wise, definitely satin. It's not heavy. It feels really good. So I'm going to jump off camera and finish the rest of my makeup and then jump back on and talk a little bit of logistics about the foundation. All right, guys, I am back and I finished the rest of my makeup, and so far I'm really into the foundation. Everything applied on top of the foundation really, really well. My concealer and then some powdered products such as blush, bronzer, etc. The only thing I noticed was there was one little area that it looked like foundation came off. It's like a little tiny circular area. I was able to just go in with a little bit of powder and pat that in, so that was my one concern with application. I'm actually going to do it again because I kind of see it coming back. So I'll let you guys know down below. I always in the description box let you guys know how it wears throughout the day, and then I will be wearing it for the next couple of days so that I can kind of complete this review in the description box. I don't usually do wear tests just because my days are so random, especially this week I'm on vacation. So I just don't know what I'm going to be doing if I get in the pool and all that kind of stuff. But whatever I end up doing, I will let you guys know down below, so you guys kind of know what the foundation went through, whether it was swimming or it was super humid out, I worked out, whatever. Otherwise, really liking it. It has not oxidized, which I was worried about a little bit with this foundation. So it did not oxidize at all, which is nice. Now that everything, like my full face, is done, I really feel like Linen is a perfect shade match for me right now. It looks really, really nice with the rest of my body. So happy about that, because I think I've mentioned this about 100 times. The struggle has been real with me for shade matching. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the foundation. We already talked about the packaging and the shades, so let's talk about a little bit of other stuff like the logistics of it and all that kind of good stuff. So I got it for $11.99 at Rexall, and that is Canadian, so $11.99 Canadian. I did see on the elfcosmetics.com website that it does go for $8 US, so pretty stinking good price for this foundation. It has also an awesome shade range with 40 shades for you to choose from. Myself, I was struggling when I was in there. Just right now with the pandemic, it is a little bit harder to do shade matches. I mentioned this in a previous video, I think 2 videos ago, about my secret to shade matching. So I will typically, this isn't my shade but right now, but I will take a foundation that I know that works for me and match it up to the bottle. And that's how I'll shade match right now, because there are no testers available, especially at drugstores. I don't know how Ulta and Sephora are doing things because they have employees, beauty experts that work there that can help you. But at Shoppers Drug Mart, they do have beauty experts as well, but sometimes they're just not around, and at Rexall, I don't think they have anyone. So sometimes you are kind of a lone wolf in the drugstore trying to figure out what shade you are. So that is my little tip for you guys. I did look online to get a little bit more information for you guys. So it is supposed to be lightweight, full coverage, oil-free formula. So lightweight, yes, absolutely, I totally agree. It feels like absolutely nothing's on my skin right now, which feels awesome, especially in the summer months because it is so stinking hot where I live. So feeling like you're wearing foundation is not a good time. So this actually doesn't feel like anything is on my skin, which is lovely, even with other things on top of it, because sometimes, you know, you put on a foundation and it's lightweight, but then you get the concealer and then the powders and blah, 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 and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, this doesn't feel good anymore. But even with my full face makeup, I'm even wearing eyeshadow today, it does feel very comfortable, and it's a scorcher outside right now. Full coverage, I disagree. I mean, I feel like sometimes with this, it can be a little bit difficult to navigate because for me, I used a pump and a half on my full face, whereas some other people would use a pump per side. So I think it depends on how much product you use. So with a pump and a half for the full face, I give it a medium coverage, but extremely buildable because I was able to put another layer on top of my chin and a little bit more on my cheeks, and I didn't see it getting too heavy, too cakey, or anything like that. It definitely layers really well. So I think if you were to do a pump per side, you would potentially be able to get more of a full coverage look. But for me and the amount that I use in my videos, I would give it more of a medium coverage, which is what I look for in foundations. I like medium coverage foundations for everyday wear, at the office, and even going out. That is what I like. So for me, it's not a con whatsoever for it being more of a medium coverage, but again, I think it is very buildable. Oil-free formula. So at the beginning, I pumped it and it looked like a lot of oil came out, so I'm not sure about that, but it does say it's oil-free. I'll let you guys know how it sits and wears on my face. As you guys know, I am combo skin, so sometimes in my T-zone, I can see oils break throughout the day, so I'll let you guys know how that kind of goes into play throughout the day. It's supposed to help restore uneven skin textures and tones for visibly brighter skin. Totally agree with that. It looks great. It definitely evened out my skin instantly, and it blended out really easily as well with the Beauty Blender, which is my main kind of go-to way to apply foundation. So overall, like, a lot of positive remarks in this first impressions with this foundation. Really, the true test is going to be how it wears throughout the day. So again, I will let you guys know down below, but overall right now it's sitting with 2 thumbs up because one, I'm looking for something that is a good shade match, which this is so far the best shade match I've found in foundations right now. On top of that, I'm looking for something that is lightweight but still gonna give me coverage because the breakouts are real. So that is another thing that I'm really, really impressed about, is how lightweight this foundation feels, but how much coverage it gave me in return. So that was 2 of the big highlights. And of course, the price and shade range. Can't beat it. e.l.f. really does a good job in those 2 areas. They've always since day one been super affordable and very inclusive with their shades, so love those 2 points. So overall, 2 thumbs up for me. Really enjoying this foundation so far, and I will let you guys know how it wears throughout the day. And you know, my July beauty favorites are right around the corner, so maybe I'll slide this one in there if I'm still loving it by that time. But anyways, guys, that is going to conclude this review first impressions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you've tried this foundation or if you want to. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and of course, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.